Meow, 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 meow. Welcome to the cat stream. No idea how the stream quality is right now. Let me check. Actually, looks like we dropped a few frames there. Something weird's going on. Might have to look into that. Hey everyone, welcome. Cat was messing with my green screen, so I picked him up, and he's messing with the green screen again. Thanks, Cat. Clearly he wants to be on the stream today, so we pick him up. Okay, so you probably noticed that I do not have a guest up in the top corner of the screen. We're going to reschedule that for probably next week. Is DevChatter. Hopefully you are all having a fantastic Tuesday. I am having a fairly good Tuesday. Let me go ahead and mess with a couple of things. We are still live, right? Yeah, good. Okay. For some reason, a couple of pieces messed up on my end. Don't know what that was, but the stream strength seems to be there right now. We're dropping minimal frames at this point, so... Alright. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Welcome, everyone. We're going to be doing some coding here on the stream. I'm going to do a little bit of EF Core stuff to start, and then I want to get over to some of the game pieces that we are doing. So first off, let me go ahead and cut this stuff off of today and move that to next week. Okay, there we go. So that's next week, and there we go. Fantastic. What do we have here? So for anyone that is new, welcome. As you can probably guess, my name is Brendan right here. If you are so inclined, we have a Discord that you can chat in, and all the source code we do here on the stream is out on GitHub. You can find it on this web page that I am on right now. This is the DevChatter homepage on GitHub, and here you can find a few things of use. First off, you can find our stream info and our chatbot. The chatbot being our main project, and stream info being stuff about the stream that's not the stream itself. So this will include things like our schedule of guests and stuff like that. I don't have any guests for this week anymore, although that may change. We will see how that works. Okay, so when last we were working on our project, we were adding in a new database to the specifically for the game. So our stream overlay game, which will play right over here on the screen, so like right over there when you start it, I kind of feel like that is a separate piece that you want it to be modular. So we're going to treat that as a separate entity. So I am going to try and create a new set of database files for it, and the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to create a migration in whoops, bot's running. I started the bot so I could say hi to everybody, and it's over there, and I just noticed it said hello. That was the warning that it is running. So these errors we got here are that it could not build the project because, well, it's got the files. They're running right now. So we're going to try that again. See, it says build failed, right? You guys can't see that. It says build failed right behind my head. So I'm going to run the same command again. And there's a couple of things I want to note about this command. So you can see them here. I'm doing add migration. I named it initial create. I specified which project it should be looking in and which context it should be using. Now remember, we have two database contexts because we're going to have two separate databases. They're going to have separate files in them. So that's why we specify the project and context. We don't want it to think we want to make a creation for the other one. So if we look at this, you'll see that it wants to create a table for teams, a table for survivors, the end records. So it's the although maybe we want to do the initial one without the tables and then add the tables. Let's do that. So we're going to undo those changes right here. So discard those changes. Actually name my migration when I do it initially, and that's because I expect to throw one out. Because I like to make sure the migration is what I want it to be. And in this case, I want it to be, just an empty creation file that just says, hey, we're creating it. Oh, that doesn't have anything in it. Okay, well, that's fine. I'll accept that. So this... So that says it's going to create that. Okay, we'll accept that. So that's the initial create. There's basically nothing in those. Say initial create migration in EF. Nocturnal Blockart, hello, welcome. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I'm going to undo one of these. And I think the one I want to undo is the team. Team does not have the reference to the others, I don't think. You know what? I'm going to bring them all in together. So, we'll call this the simple records. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring this up again so you guys can see what I'm typing. And I'm going to, instead of saying initial create, I'm going to do create initial tables. And it is going to go ahead and build these again. It's going to whine a little bit about tooling that I'm not too worried about. Let's go ahead and hide away the console again. And now it has those records that we saw before, which is the creation of those few tables and their foreign keys. Looks good to me. So, what we're going to do is we're going to save, then we're going to commit this change. That is add initial tables to migrations. We're going to commit that as well. This is add on configuring for migrations from console. That's what I'm going to call that. So, to explain that last commit, I want to give you guys an understanding of what I just did there because it is a little bit weird, to say the least. So I added this code right here, and I want to explain what it does. This is a little method that when this needs to be configured through the command line, we don't come in through the normal means. So normally when I create a new data context class, I'm going to pass in the constructor in some way. So if you look at where I create this, so if I take a look at the reference, you'll find I passed in options, and options was using a connection string. So that's how I passed in the connection string. But when you look here, when it's building out there, it doesn't know which connection string to use. So in order to not have to specify it when I call that command, what I can do is I can set up the on configuring, and it looks in this file, and it looks for this connection string that I told it to look for. The connection string here is at connection strings and wasteful game. I'll show you what the file looks like because I do want to explain how that works, because I think some people might not know this trick. So if we take a look at the appsettings.json file, you will notice that I have connection strings, and connection strings is an object right here, and inside of it I have default database and wasteful game are the two names that I have that define the connection strings themselves. And these connection strings are what I want to get. So because of that, I can't just say wasteful game in my indexer. I have to say connection strings wasteful game. So you'll see connection strings wasteful game. And the way that you get to nested options like that is by using a colon right here. So just pass in that character and boom, you're good. You can get to the nested properties. And that's all you have to do to get that. Okay, so that should now work. I'm going to go ahead and attempt to run this. I don't know if I've got it all wired up, but we're about to find out. I probably don't have this set up to actually run those pieces just yet, but we'll see. We'll see. Wasteful start. Oh man, it started up the game. Okay, cool. Well, that's a pretty quick game over, but that's fine. So what I want to check now is I want to see... Okay, so it reported that back. Did it write to the database? That's the question. First off, did it create that database for me, or am I going to need to make it? I might need to make it myself. Did we get an error about it? Ah, there's the error right here. So... cannot open that, the login failed. Yep, because that database does not exist. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and make this database. Now it should work. Alphonse, hey, welcome. And, well, of course, Wheatlol. But I'm not terribly worried about it. What I was wondering about is I couldn't remember if I had it set up to do that or not. Anyway, I should get rid of the one that's on the screen up there. And I will do that like this. We're gonna go ahead and do that. Refresh. There we go. Goodbye. It's gone. Okay. Oh, yeah, exactly, Wheatlow. I actually think I have this project set to do auto migrations on everything else. Do I have to specify which context I want now, or is it just going to do them both? What's it called? Game data context? What did I call this thing? Yep, game data context. Hey Rexy, hey Copious, welcome everybody. Glad to see a bunch of people saying hi in chat. Dash project